is an Ymbangium podcast. Well, what do we have here? Looks like it's another episode of
the
Ymbangium
podcast.
Yay! Every single day, Facebook keeps telling me we get searched out and looked at about 5 or 6 times a day. And I think there's and a few people have been asking me, when is your next podcast, Brian? And you should do one soon. Look, you're looking mighty handsome there, younger brother, with that wonderful mustache and beard of yours.
Thank you.
For me, not so much. Look, I literally can't grow hair on the side of my cheek or here. Literally, it's just this one part here, and then I can barely grow a mustache.
You have the handlebars.
I have the handlebars, but this one here, nothing.
You
so it has to be probably about another 6 months that I'll probably be able to grow that in. It would be pretty gross.
Right.
But yes, thank you so much for joining us, guys. My name is Brian, and this is the Ymbangium podcast. I am joined with
Darian.
Yes, and we are. We usually don't know what this podcast is about. You could probably help us out by listening to it and letting us know. Leave a question or a response on Anchor.fm if you're watching or listening there as well, or even in the YouTube channel. I'm hoping that I can finally put this on a YouTube channel. God damn it! I've just been having technical difficulties for the last 6 months. So, is it about 6 months now? Yeah, that sounds about right. It's almost June, right?
It is.
Can you believe it's halfway through May already?
That's right.
We would have been able to, should have done some quarantine podcasts, but you've been busy. You've been working through this virtually and online.
That's right. Playing
the piano and teaching the piano as well. And for me, I have been working I almost every day since this whole pandemic happened, and it's been very difficult to actually kind of quantify or even put into words how much I miss the regular times. Looks like there's a typhoon behind you there, Darian.
Yeah, it's
Zoom is pretty good. How do you do that? We are using Zoom to record the podcast today, and because he is at where he lives at home, and I am where I live at home, and we're doing the social distancing thing. But today, it's actually been lifted in Calgary. We're in phase 1 of lifting the precautions of social distancing, and I think it's too soon, but the good thing is they've pushed it back to the 25th for all of the sessions where people are touching each other.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, their massages, restaurants, haircutters, and stuff like that, they won't be able to open up for at least another 11 days from this point. So how have you been, Darian? How have you been coping during this crazy time? I know we've talked before, but I mean, like, let everyone know who's listening here how Calgary, how you're taking this wonderful thing.
I've been teaching virtually piano lessons. I've lost maybe half of my students. So
oh no,
not as much money coming in, but CERB takes care of that.
Yeah,
luckily. And I have kind of a routine of exercise biking every day. So,
well, that's good.
Kind of keeping physical health with that.
Nice. I have been going to work every day, so my routine has not been fully changed, aside from the fact that during this time is one of the busiest season. I can't even speak today. The busiest seasons of the year because of AGMs and whatnot for the audiovisual industry. And I'm usually at like 5 or 6 venues a day checking up on events and basically running off the rails, busy, especially in May and especially in June. But I've just been sitting at home, not at home, sitting at the office, doing data entry, doing cold calls, checking up on clients. I've slowly been finally getting people to get quotes for June for virtual stuff like webcasting and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's been quite interesting trying to navigate this whole thing, and it's like I thought I'd have more time to do more creative things during this time. For me, it just seems like normal days to me because I'm still doing around 9 hour days at work and traveling back and forth. So I'm indisposed for about 10 hours, and but my wife Rolo, she's been working every other day,
Mrs.
and
Republic.
yeah, Mrs. Republic. She's been teaching Emma too. So I'm not the most teaching my kids because they're not in school right now. So
Online
I'm not
classes, right?
Yeah, online homework and stuff like that. She has to read, and then there's this weird the teacher has to call in, and then they have a whole group chat and everything on Google Meets. It's actually pretty weird. But the kids are all taking it in stride. I mean, like 7-year-olds on Google Meets, like can you imagine, like, there's 30 kids that a teacher has to teach these kids, and then there's the parents behind them behind those kids. So their teachers not only teaching the kids, but they're teaching the parents at the same time, and the parents are learning how they're teaching their kids. And the funniest thing is that everyone's going, "What are you teaching my kids?"
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense for people, right? Like, why? Like, and also we realize the kids themselves, they're just like out of control sometimes, right? You can't, like, you don't see them, and the teacher's like, well, yeah, you gotta do something about your kid. Like, oh yeah, now I know. She doesn't listen. Yeah. there's no corporal punishment.
Yeah.
back in the day type of thing, like. But yeah, so anything that interested you during this COVID-19, like around the world, while we're waiting for bated breath to get back to business and whatnot? Anything that concerned you?
I don't think so.
No. Hey.
I mean, I've been watching because of my exercise biking.
Yeah.
I've been watching more anime.
That's good.
Kind of it.
So you're watching the new season for all the animes that
yeah,
I
was just catching up before then, and then now I'm watching some new stuff.
I'm watching the one where she's the villainous one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen 3 episodes.
Yeah, I'm on the second episode. I just started the second episode. I think that's going to be a pretty big hit.
It's pretty funny.
What's the name fully again? Do you know?
It's My New Life as a Villainous.
Yeah.
All routes lead to doom or something.
Yeah, all routes lead to doom. It's actually pretty funny. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should totally check it out. For me, you know what? The thing that concerns me right now is that Michael Moore's Planet of the Humans has come out, and my issue is that in the news, after the Planet of the Humans came out, the New York Times, for some reason, just said that coal is on the decline of use in the United States. Mm-hmm. There's a New York Times article that says the use of coal has declined because of everyone staying home and whatnot. Right. And people are more using natural gas and biomass energy to power their homes. Now, when you hear biomass, people don't realize what biomass actually means, and it basically means burning trees. And that, if you have not watched Planet of the Humans, you should totally watch it because Michael Moore is obviously super on the left, very critical of everything. But when he sees something, and the guy who made the documentary is not Michael Moore, it's another gentleman. I totally forgot what his name was, but Planet of the Humans it just shows you that sustainable energy is, to get to making that sustainable energy, you use a lot more petroleum products than just to create that sustainable energy, and you can't get back all the energy that you wasted to even get to the point where you can only use your sustainable energy for 20 years. These are like finite, times, and it's really crazy, the misinformation that's happening right now. Now, Michael Moore might have pulled the wool over our eyes as well, and we don't know if that's the case, right? So I'm trying to look at both sides of the story, but when they say that they're closing down coal plants and they're opening up liquefied natural gas plants, it just tells me that we got to invest in LNG, right? We got to. That's the next place where people are actually gonna start burning their fossil fuels, is not from digging up and pumping up oil, but from siphoning natural gas and liquefying the natural gas, right? So, but that's at least in Canada. But in the United States, it's a whole different story. So I think people should totally watch it. And you watched. You're the one who told me to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. If you haven't seen it, totally check it out. But yeah, that's one of the things that interested me during this time and concerns me and the world. But yeah, have you watched any movies lately?
Movies, Onward, Star Wars.
Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker.
I have a few things about Onward.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for that whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Aside from the pandemic, but it's just like I think you'll lose impact when you're watching it on a television screen. Right. Or is it just me?
Actually, I mean, I have a pretty neat setup in my room. So.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But we watched it in the living room, and I think if it was actually, because it was released on Disney Plus, literally right when the pandemic happened. But I think if it was in the movie, I think I would have had a higher rating of it. I think I just had a little bit more time while I was watching it, kind of picking it apart. In my head, kind of type of thing. Like, did you like it?
Yeah.
I feel like I was robbed.
Really? But why?
Because it's like he was working so hard to go and meet his dad, right?
Oh yeah.
And the impact, spoiler alert. He meets his legs, by the way. You guys don't have Disney Plus. He meets his legs first. But you guys have never watched it before. You should totally watch it. Let's just say I felt robbed at the end of that movie. I think I have to give it, another 2 months before I even talk about the ending of it. But I feel like I feel like do you think I could say it? Should I spoil it right now?
Sure, spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alert.
We'll clap our hands.
Yeah. So he's working so hard to go and meet his dad, and then he comes to the realization that his big brother was his dad, technically, right? Like the big brother was the one that helped him, grow and become this. And I was just like, but his legs are already there.
I don't get it.
It's so close. Like he's just this close. They like they could have given him 2 seconds to even just say I love you or something like that.
But why
to the dad that he's never known?
But why should he?
Right. It's basically, it's like saying this. if you and me were traveling on an airplane, which is going to be never for the next 30 years,
Right.
because we'll be stuck in this country forever. If you and I were stuck in an airplane, right? Or stuck going to another place, and they said, well, I can upgrade one of you two to first class, right? But I already been to first class, right? But you've never been to first class, right? And I go, well, I guess I'll take first class because you don't know what you're missing out. Does that make sense?
I mean,
Like,
no, I don't think so. And I think in the context is that
he didn't say, he wasn't able to say goodbye, right?
if we compare it, it would be kind of like you get to, or you would offer me to go and see first class for like 2 seconds. You know, it's not like the whole thing.
Yeah, he got the legs, right? He got the bottom half. Was able to hang out with the bottom half of the dad, so that he showed him a little bit of first class.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen the Seinfeld episode? I think you should try and find that one. It's pretty funny. I think it's Elaine and Jerry are going. They're flying across the country or something like that, and Jerry, since he's a frequent flyer, he gets upgraded to first class, or gets offered for one of the two to get to go to first class. And Elaine was just like, well, I've never been to first class. Maybe I should go get it, you know? And Jerry's like, but you've never really experienced it, you know? Like, I have, so you won't know what you're missing, right? Like, that's what I kind of felt like. If it's probably because I've seen...
How about this, though? If...
I'd give you any opportunity. If you never met Dad, I would make sure that you met Dad. You know what I mean?
Right.
I already met him. You know, like my brother who's never met his dad and who's going out of his way to travel across the Rocky Mountains, I guess. Like the whole time they're like, we're on a journey. You know, this is our quest. Yeah. But I just feel like it felt a little half baked to me. That's for me. But yeah, so sorry, you were saying.
I don't know.
You don't know? Did you like it though?
Yeah,
I liked it for what it was. I liked it. I don't think it was the most solid Disney/Pixar. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, Disney/Pixar film they've made. Best movie, Toy Story 3. I don't think.
Did you watch Toy Story 4?
It's pretty good too. Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I still feel like they could have ended it at Toy Story 3 and they didn't need to make Toy Story 4. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like Toy Story 4, they didn't need to exist.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah, you already got everybody in the fields in Toy Story 3. You know what I mean? Yeah. They found their quote unquote happy ending, you know? And all of a sudden,
Toy Story 4 it introduces a problem, you know?
Yeah, but the other thing too is that it also diminished the significance of Toy Story 3. Yeah. It just removed the sorry, you're a useless toy now. Right? Compared to Toy Story 4, you're just like, well, we're useless toys again. When will this end? You know what I mean? Like they could have just ended the story. Right? But they just had to go and anyways, Rise of Skywalker, I liked the movie for what it was. I don't like the fact that the gravity was very short-lived. The finding out that she's a Palpatine. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it yet, that's too bad. After she finds out she's a Palpatine, it's a whole movie to resolve that battle, that inner battle. Do you know what I mean? It would have been better at the end of The Force Awakens that she finds out that she's a Palpatine, and she has a whole movie to fight those feelings of whether or not she should be in the light side or the dark side. And then the last movie should be the resolve of that. Whereas, that's what you get when you have two different directors between three movies, right? So the gravity of the situation, like I've heard some arguments online already, like, well, Emperor Palpatine's on this giant machine, and he's able to go bzzz with the electrical, the force lightning. So you were what? You were almost dead and dying on this machine, and you're still able to do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just like, that's what I thought of.
I think there should have been one more movie. How about that?
Oh, so you have all three, or retcon the second one.
And then it's Star Wars Episode 10, and it's like a whole big deal,
It's the final. Yeah, that I think that's a better. I think that's a better idea.
Like have the twist in Rise of Skywalker be I am your grandfather.
Yeah. No, I am your grandfather.
Everyone's like, what?
Oh, there was
that would be amazing. No, right? Like a cliffhanger, episode 9.
Yeah.
Palpatine reveals.
Yeah,
and then episode 10, the big episode. You're right. 10.
Yeah, no, that was the bullshit thing about it was, she finds out that she is a Palpatine right at the end, and then she resolves it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's basically, she finds out that she's a Palpatine, and she's just like, oh, okay, dual lightsaber, bzzz, like the X is 10.
Yeah, Star Wars Episode 10.
Star Wars
That'd
Episode
be amazing.
I feel bad that I don't know. I just, there's just people who are much smarter and who enjoy those movies and who dissected it better than I have. But in my brain, I think when I was watching it the whole time, I was just like, wait a minute, they killed her? And then then they Romeo and Julieted, and then he's dead. And I'm going like, what? And then at the end of the movie, I told This Is a Republic. I told her, I said, oh, see, it's just about the patriarchy. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like she took on Skywalker as her last name because she married Kylo Ren. And then she's like, kiss. Because they kissed, and now he transferred to Skywalker, named her. And then she's like, no, Ben is actually a Solo. So she should have said she's Rey Solo, not
Rey Solo.
Right? If they married in that kiss.
Uh-huh.
Here's my question too. How come so Qui-Gon Jinn, right? In the prequel. Episode 1. He gets burned just like Darth Vader, right? So the Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader gets
he? Yeah. Doesn't he gets stabbed and then he falls, right?
Qui-Gon? No, he gets stabbed, he falls on the ground. Darth Maul gets cut in half and he falls down into a tube.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, Anakin throws Emperor Palpatine over down a shaft, just like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
But I think the Force lightning killed Anakin. And down on Endor, where the Ewoks are, though, they burn Darth Vader's body. And Luke looks over and he sees Anakin, Qui-Gon, I think, and
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, yeah, sorry. Obi-Wan and Yoda, right?
Yep.
So they burned their bodies and they turned into Force ghosts. Obi-Wan turned into a Force ghost as Darth Vader sliced him, right?
Yep. In episode 4.
4. Yeah, that's right. Now, Kylo's dead, or Ben Solo is dead, and Princess Leia is dead. Do they disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they turn into Force ghosts. So they did what Obi-Wan did, but Obi-Wan did it while he was alive. Why did they turn into Force ghosts after they actually died? So that's my question. Why?
Well, how do you turn into a Force ghost is the question.
Well, Obi-Wan did it because apparently Qui-Gon could do it after his body was burned. So I don't know.
Because
like if you strike me down, I will come back. What's that?
Because Obi-Wan gave a little wink to Luke, and then he Force ghosted himself.
Yeah, he Force ghosted himself. He's just like, I'm done. Peace. That's just like he just hit the Zoom meeting and he was sucked away into the Force. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like why did the bodies of Ben and Leia they've both already died, right? But as Ben disappears as a Force ghost, so does Leia at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, how did Luke Force ghost himself? He was meditating, right? Or he was Force projecting himself.
He was Force projecting and was meditating at the same time. And most likely that's how Obi-Wan did it at the same time too. So Obi-Wan was probably meditating. That's why their movements were so slow. Right? So that I liked it. I liked it for what it was. And then after you think about it, then you go like, some things don't make any sense. And I feel bad. That that's the case of, them ending the saga that way. I guess they didn't want this. They didn't want that royal lineage to go down. Yeah. And apparently they're doing Star Wars in the past now or something like that.
Yeah. Let me pull that up.
So from what I've heard is they're doing another 3 movies, but back in the Old Republic. Back before the Darth Vader saga or the Skywalker saga happened. So I think that's gonna be pretty interesting to watch and see how they grow the franchise. Are they actually gonna do is it gonna be like a one-off, like a Star Wars story instead of actually a Star Wars?
Yeah, well, we have where is that? Okay. YouTube is really messed up.
Oh, I heard YouTube is down. Hashtag YouTube is down is trending on Twitter earlier today.
Okay, it's called the High Republic.
Oh, the High Republic. I see. Yeah. I see. That's gonna be pretty cool.
So it's somewhere between the old Republic and the new one, I guess.
Okay.
Or maybe it's older than the old one. Something like that.
Yeah, most likely. Well, that's gonna be interesting to see. I see you. I saw that you were. I was creeping on your Discord there. I saw you were playing. GTA 5.
Yes,
it is free.
It's right over there. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, is that why? I thought that's why you were playing it because you got it for free.
No, I bought it a long time ago.
Oh, okay. The Epic Store is giving it away for free till May 21st or something like that. It's the premium. It's the premium edition. So if you don't have the premium edition, you should still go get the Epic Store and download it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have Epic on my computer.
Oh no, hey.
No.
Yeah. I was able to get. This is the cool thing about digital downloads and stuff like that is that some of these stores that are trying to get your loyalty, they're giving away games for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good thing. I still don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Because they could
Right.
easily take it away, right? Like the guy, you no longer have access.
Yeah.
There's because I got the Batman Arkham series, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum for free. Grand Theft Auto 5, Just Cause 4, Surviving Mars, which is a pretty decent title as well, for free, and World War Z for free on the Epic Game Store. So,
right.
I mean, like, free is free. I'll take it. And so I have like three game launchers that are running on my computer at the same time.
Uh-huh.
But it's actually pretty insane how much content they're giving away for free to try and get your loyalty. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my little rant on on the free. Oh, Epic Store today was also crashing too, apparently, because GTA 5. A lot of people were on the fence on buying that game, anyways, and I think even some people who had it on Xbox, who's moved over to PC, who hasn't bought it for PC yet, they've been downloading it too. So they basically crashed their site. Just pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Did you like it? Did you like GTA 5? When did that actually come out? That came out for 360, didn't it?
Yep, 2013, I think.
Oh,
so 7 years ago.
Really? That's a 7-year-old game?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
It did have like 3 release years though. So on the 360 it was like 2013. And then on the Xbox One and PS4, that was 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might have been alongside the PC release. So it was 6 or 7 years old.
6 or 7 years old. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Depending.
I think that's pretty great. But speaking of that as well, it's just like, it just solidifies my transfer over to Plex.
Mm-hmm.
I see you've enjoyed it a few times already. If anybody doesn't know what Plex is, it's been around for a very long time now. Plex servers. I'm running a Plex server right now for the family, and I'm slowly but surely right now I'm still doing it on the new computer here to move all of the old files, photos, and actually renaming them properly. Basically, it's going to be the digital family photo album, right? So
and video album.
Because everything kind of transferred over to video like 5 years ago. So, and to tell you honestly, I'm actually glad that things happen with video this way, because I see Emma and Zoe as little kids like that, and then I see you as a little kid and me as a younger kid, having that type of video diary. And you know, I even think that it's so easy now for you to become to digitize yourself for your family down the road, unless you're a garbage person. That's a whole different story. But if you're a regular person, who's doing their if you're a regular person,
a decent human
being, and we don't even know what even that is. We might be garbage people.
Maybe we are,
right. So, but I think it would be great to listen to, like, here's the problem with what happened with our kind of family tree and whatnot, and what happens to people in relationships.
I've been thinking about that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been going all through that, and it's just like could you, like, we don't know our granddad on our dad's side. Neither do we know our granddad on my mom's side. On our mom's side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
and
I remember
the drama, right?
The drama. Well, I got beat. I remember the beatings. I was 3-4 years old. My granddad beat the shit out of me, man, if I ever stepped out of line.
And
right?
how
So
about
it's in here.
and yeah, but how about the drama you don't know about
Oh,
between them?
exactly. Oh, I mean, like the funny thing is like even doing this right now, it's just like now it's being recorded. It's we don't know the real drama. We only know it secondhand right now. And even when I tried to get the recorder out and tried to ask Dad to tell us stories, he didn't want to. Come on, man, give us the juice.
Well, I heard a bit of the stories,
Which
but
story? Okay, give me your most I
okay,
can't believe that happened story.
this was a couple days ago actually.
Yeah. Who?
World War II
Oh, okay.
with
Lola?
Dad's dad.
No.
Have you heard about that?
No. What the hell?
Yeah.
What
It's just
happened?
yeah, that's why I've been thinking about family stuff. I'm not going to talk about it here.
Things happened. Hey, things happened.
Yeah.
My story. The story is also World War II. Lola's village in Mindoro, where we're from, Rojas, right? The Japanese took over.
Did you know that Lola and Lolo Simeon are
They cousins?
they're no what?
They're brother and sister.
They were honored. They're U.S. veterans.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I learned about that too. That was in the same
Lolo
family.
Simeon should have been. We should have all been American. He fought for the American military in the Philippines, and he was a veteran. And that's why Lola had three pensions: his teacher's pension, his military pension, and his and Lola's own pension as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that part. So yeah, pretty crazy. But Lola didn't want to leave the Philippines.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, Philippines is the best place.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
well, I mean that's bound to happen with any parent and children,
yeah,
parent and child, you know, because like maybe we think Canada's the best place, you know,
mm-hmm.
but maybe Emma decides to move to like somewhere else because she's like Canada's not that great.
True. She might move back to the Philippines to reattach her roots to the Filipino culture. You never know.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, so what really is better? So you never really know.
Well, I say if we did not move to Canada, I'd probably be doing some pretty crappy stuff in the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
I was not a highly educated person on that front.
Right.
So I mean, when it's that, I kind of compare. It's like maybe I thought to myself this whole time when I was growing up, I was just like, if I grew up in the Philippines, I think I would have been in a better place.
Yeah.
Right. Like I would have been probably more focused on my studies because it was kind of like a switch for me, right? Like I had to not only learn a new country, but also learn a new language.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years in my change of scenery of language and country, we moved to the part of the country where it had a different language again. So it basically was a different country. Yeah. So it's just like, maybe it made me better as a better person, like to adapt to things as quickly as possible. But man, like if someone was just like, you know, you stay the course. This is, and now I guess Emma and Zoe are the ones who are going to be the and any of our kids in the future. It's like we're going to see which was the better way of growing up.
Yeah.
Something even like this though, for the pandemic, it's affecting the kids. Like you could see it right away. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best. That's the best situation for them right now. They need that social aspect of being in school. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. there's going to be a digital archive of everything, and hopefully my grandkids or great grandkids see it, and hopefully they're alive to see it, because the world's ending.
Also, I read a book. I read two.
Oh, yes.
I can read.
Oh, you've read it.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
I read and listened.
Oh.
To, so
which ones did you?
Farm.
Yeah, Animal Farm.
And then I read and listened to Ready Player One.
Those are two very good books. I didn't read Ready Player One. I read Animal Farm.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about Animal Farm?
Oh, I don't know if I would say I liked it. It brings many feelings up.
Yeah,
does it
solidify your worldview?
It's very relevant right now,
time,
despite being written 70 plus years ago. 80 maybe, or even 80 years ago.
Everything's pretty much rehashed at this point now.
Yeah,
I think anything that we learn, or anything that's written in fiction now, 100 years from now, if the world is still around for that, is going to be pretty relevant to them then than it is right now, because we're in the point where we can actually gauge about what's happening in our culture.
Yeah, and then also in Ready Player One, some relevancy was, so since it takes place in post-apocalyptic 2044, and they talk about, usually there's no big news. Only big news that ever comes up is like if there's a new pandemic that happens, and I was like, yeah. So it's pretty, yeah. And then also they called so since I don't even know what it's called.
And that's what's happening inside Ready Player One, right?
Yeah. So since in the book, at least, since the Oasis was created, they called all of the generation after, I suppose, Generation Z or the millennial generation. They were called the lost generation, or like the generation that disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Because everything was virtual, and it's kind of coming right now, right?
Yeah, it's real. Everything's virtual now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if VR was actually even as close, as good as it is inside the book and the movie? That's where we would be.
Yeah.
There's actually an old TV show called Sliders. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's basically a team of people who are able to slide between different dimensions. And one of the dimensions that they actually land in, it's actually pretty good. The main character is a pretty popular television star. His original claim to fame was this thing called My Secret Identity, where he'd be able to fly with 2 aerosol cans. So he would and he'd be able to fly that way because he'd be very light. But yeah, the main character is in that show was the same, was another main character in this one. And basically what they encountered in this alternate universe was everyone had the virtual reality on anywhere and everywhere that they went. So they basically would do the monotonous work.
Like augmented reality.
Yeah, it would be augmented reality. So somebody would be in vacation in their brain, but their body is still doing the work that they're supposed to be doing at work.
Right.
And it's pretty close to kind of like that when I saw Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Where it's pretty crazy how augmented reality and even virtual reality is kind of like creeping in. Like, this is stuff that we were like sci-fiing about, and it's now literally coming to pass quicker and quicker. Like processors are getting smaller and smaller,
and faster,
and before you know
energy efficient.
Yeah. Hopefully, more energy efficient enough that it doesn't need coal to run.
Or just a big power supply.
Big power supply doesn't need to be
AA batteries.
Or even just even your bio bioenergy, right? If you're
Yeah.
wearing it somewhere, the heat of your body would be able to
Yeah.
power the battery. You never know. That's something that's going to be like, there we go. Like all these things that we hear in science fiction can actually be done right now. And using the human body as a battery, hashtag Matrix, by the way, spoiler alert. We're a battery for the machines. So yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green. If you guys have not watched Soylent Green. But yeah, that's Soylent Green. Yeah. So I mean, that's basically my my take on that.
Yeah.
Oh man, for me, I don't think I've read any books during this time. I've been actually every week I've been repairing and building computers. How is your new video card going?
Yeah, it's great.
Is it
I'm
balling?
playing GTA 5.
Is it a new game to you because of the new video card?
Uh,
Are you're running it on Ultra probably, right?
yeah.
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 If
It's
you
a lot
want to
smoother.
if you want to run it even better, go and download MSI Afterburner, which is
Oh yeah.
it can overclock your video card by a couple about a few hundred megahertz, your memory and your core clock, and you'll probably get even a better experience than you are having right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been enjoying it actually. It's like therapeutic. I think that's one of the things that I've been doing to kind of keep myself sane in during this time. And I've also picked up sim racing. So I already started it last year, playing around with the Xbox controller, but even more and more these days because of on the weekends I'm actually able to stay home and play video games. I'm not inundated with honey-do lists and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think that's the best thing that's come out of it, is I'm able to actually sit down and play a video game without getting interrupted. So that's one of the things that I think I came out with. I'm a better driver now. I understand race lines and the types of vehicles and stuff. So that's what I've learned during this time. Did you pick up any skills during the pandemic?
I've been drawing more.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
honing
kind of
skills.
I've been honing skills.
That's good.
And it's actually, I draw while I listen to audiobooks, and it's like a lot better. Like before I'd listen to like podcasts while I drew, but then I would run out of podcasts,
Oh yeah.
And then it was just like, well, now I don't even know what to do while I draw. So there are a lot of books that are available in audiobooks at the library.
Yeah, the library is pretty good. I think you have to kind of put aside from you found a little bit of a section of how you do your creating is listening to audiobooks. What you should try to do as well is try to create mood lighting aside from turning off the lights and stuff like that. If you're doing it at night, like not a candle per se, but maybe like a fake candle or something like that. Like that kind of helps out with creating and stuff. So
yeah,
something you gotta figure out.
It's actually a little tough though when I guess it's okay with sketching and stuff, but once you start coloring, you need that color accuracy.
Yeah.
So it's just like bright lights in my face.
Oh, I see. You know what? Here's one thing too. If you want to put on something while you're creating, there's people on YouTube who are study with me. So they're just studying. You don't know what they're studying, but you can play the video while they're studying, and then you can do your thing, and then it's as if somebody's there with you and you're studying or doing your thing. It's actually pretty weird. It's like it's just like mukbang, but it's just like it's very odd.
I might have imagined it, but I think I might have done that when I was streaming in university.
Oh, really?
maybe, unless my mind's making stuff up, or I've just like contemplated doing it, just
Like
because
stream
I spent
yourself studying and people can
yeah,
watch you.
because
Yeah,
I
no,
was doing so much studying, like
yeah.
I thought, oh, maybe some people would
Maybe you
want to
did.
watch.
Maybe
Yeah,
you did it and you just don't remember.
maybe.
You know what you
Maybe
should do is you should just do it now. Like while you don't even have to show what you're working on.
uh-huh.
It's just a live stream of you working on and listening to
Working.
your audiobooks.
Uh-huh.
And it's literally just quiet.
Yeah.
There's not, you can hear the
Mhm.
creak of your chair, the rustling of the, maybe I should do that
Yeah.
at work. Just stream myself going, click,
Well,
click, 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 click.
what would you do in that stream?
Nothing.
Would
That's
you
what
be
I'd just be doing work. I'd be picking up the phone, be like, hello.
is your chat closed?
No, chat will be going because people will be
Uh-huh.
watching me.
Are you
I'm not gonna.
communicating?
No, I'm not gonna communicate.
Uh,
Because that's all
yeah.
they're doing is they study with me. Don't talk
Right.
to me. I'm studying.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the more ingenious things that one of the things I've seen on YouTube. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people who are doing performances. I did one performance type of thing on YouTube, and people really like that. And I'm spacing it out. I don't want people to get sick of my me butchering songs. So I think
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do that. But yeah, aside from that, that's basically everything that I've kind of done. When I created my Plex server, I was really happy that I could actually get it up and running, and it's actually been smooth. So I think there's been a couple of
Mhm.
updates that have taken care of the weird buffering issues I've had. Yeah, that's my update for everybody. Is there you released you posted a new thing, a new
new
photo
drawing.
on drawing on
Yeah.
on
I can
Instagram.
I can talk about that a bit.
Yeah,
So
it's an original character, right?
yeah. So I have this big old folder here in
Oh wow.
Notebook. It's been in the works for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Here's the character originally from
Cool.
2017, 2016 or something.
Nice.
And yeah, I have like 4 of those drawn out and like a plot line.
Perfect.
And yeah.
So
I got started on that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you're gonna.
That's kind of why I've been back to drawing.
That's good. Yeah. Hopefully you can release that. People can.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while. Yeah, that's fair. For me too. I've been. I have my setup here. I finally kicked out Mrs. Republic, my wife, from my studio finally. She wanted to be down here and working, and then she realized that she needs sunlight. Basically a wilting flower in the basement, and there's just this 4x3 cutout on the back of the house for the basement window. And basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces now where I can create, and I just have to clean it up this weekend. I'm putting up the last few bits of my curtains, and then I'm trying to put a pegboard on one of my workbenches, and then hopefully, since they've relaxed the social distancing rules, we can do a LAN party. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I told Mrs. Republic, I told Rolo, I was just like, so is there any chance that we can have a LAN party at the house and stuff like that? And she's like, well, what, are you just gonna play video games all weekend? And she's like, we don't have Fragapalooza this year. So that's the sad thing. I spoke with actually Gavin, head of security, usually at Fragapalooza. And he said that there's going to be a virtual Fragapalooza during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have tournaments. People can join tournaments. So maybe we can do that for that weekend. Join them, do that. And they're going to tell stories and stuff like that. about previous Fragapaloozas, and they're just going to do it for like one evening, and there'll be tournaments and stuff. So it'll all be done virtually. So, but Fragapalooza has been canceled, and if any, we've spoken about Fragapalooza about two or three times already, but it is a giant land party in Leduc, Alberta. And this year we can't go, but hopefully next year we can do it. And cross your fingers. But yeah, that's I think that's it. I think that's my update. Oh, I have a water dispenser down here now too. So that's been it's one of the. I finally got it cleaned out because one of my friends was giving it away, and was like, "Yeah, I'll take it, sure. Why not?" So that's been pretty cool. But yeah. Oh, and also, Bitcoin is almost at $10,000 again. It dipped down to like $8,500 last week. But Bitcoin is on a rally. It's actually the Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now has reached a certain point called the halving. So basically, when they crunch the numbers to dig out one Bitcoin, they only get rewarded half of what they used to get before the halving. So it's going to be basically creating a scarcity of the coin. And anybody who holds the coin will hopefully it'll appreciate faster than it did in the last 3 years. And Colin, my buddy who I've been helping out with his Bitcoin rigs and stuff like that, he basically has a Bitcoin now, so he's pretty happy.
Wow.
And and he's been mining. So not only that, but he's been mining other coins as well. So those have been appreciating too. So he spent probably around 12 or 13,000, and he's already made that money back in less than 2 years, and now everything's profit. So whatever he's putting in as and now as everything starts to appreciate, like, because that when he came in it was like 16,000, that was the price of Bitcoin, and it went all the way down to 3,000. Yeah, he's basically made his money back already. Like literally in overnight, it went from 7,000 to 9,000, or to like 9,000 or so, 9,800. He literally made back all his money that he lost, like a snap of a finger. So, and then he lost his money again, and then went back up, and then he made his money back. So, cryptocurrency is still alive and well. Don't let anybody else tell you different. My advice to anybody who's looking into cryptocurrency is, if you have the money to invest in cryptocurrency, and that you have that extra cash to invest into it. But don't expect it to be there tomorrow if everything crashes down. It needs to be money that you don't care about. It can't be your rent. It can't be your livelihood, or else you will be in a really bad place very quickly.
Right.
But that's enough of the sadness that there's some people who have invested heavily in that stuff. Oh yeah. So yeah. Oh, how are you enjoying your piano, your brand new keyboard?
This one. It's pretty darn good. I mean,
it's weighted keys.
It's a lot. The keys are a lot heavier than the old one. So it's kind of a more realistic feel. But at this price point, they say it's like the best price to like quality, quality wise. So
best bang for buck kind of thing.
Exactly. So kind of, if you want to get close to a grand piano or whatever, you pretty much have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think. Tens of thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands. Yeah. So
we were thinking about that. If we ever were like, oh, let's get a baby grand piano put in the house, I'm like, there's no space for that. Right? We'd have to buy a new house and have its own space. Baby grand piano, its own space. So there's just no way. If you want it, there's no way. I don't think that's gonna ever happen. So I was just like, no. Nah, not gonna happen. But yeah, I think I said but yeah a few times already. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, Darian. I think we're gonna hopefully we can start reviving this, and we can get get more topics, more things. We've tried to do it before. It's just everything kind of started falling apart with work, and then the pandemic happened, and then. But maybe we can do it, a once a month type of thing. I think that's a better instead of a fortnight every 2 weeks or so. But we'll try to do the fortnights. If it doesn't release in a fortnight, it'll release in a month, and we can talk about stuff that's happened in a month, and I'll just keep track of like all of the technology and all that stuff that's going on and stuff like that. There's really a lot of new stuff going on with technology out there right now, especially with Zoom. It's secure now, so that's a good thing, right? There won't be anybody popping in. Yeah, they
okay.
Yeah, they won't be popping in and playing whatever they want, because now there's they're password protected. Plus, I have to allow you to come in. So if I don't know that you're coming in, I won't let you in, right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool new feature. But this is where probably we're going to end the podcast today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. I appreciate you guys hanging out and listening to the Ymbangium podcast. Here's the issue. We recorded one podcast way back, and I tried to edit it, and it was let's just say I couldn't edit it past a certain point, and basically I corrupted the file. So I tried to listen to the original file, because I wanted to transfer it into to Premiere Pro, edit it, and I was doing all of that stuff, and it's supposed to be non-destructive editing, and the file that I was copying over corrupted while it was copying over, and corrupted the file. So I have basically half file left, and it has no context, because we're throwing back to stuff that we were saying earlier in the podcast, and I was just like, I thought I could salvage it. I just couldn't, and that kind of got me down. And not only that, my motherboard fried this is why I've been doing those. My motherboard fried. I don't even know if the CPU is fried. I don't know if the RAM is fried. I think the RAM is good, I think, but basically the computer that I was doing my editing on just literally fried, and things just were how when you feel like the world is against you, and it's just like you try to turn something on to start working on something, and it just goes like, no, stop. That's how I felt like, and I just felt a little bit defeated. So I finally have a system now that I can actually do these proper edits, get things all good looking. Hopefully you're watching this right now on YouTube, because the YouTube channel hasn't been going. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this back going and running again. And yeah, I think that's it. Do you have anything to let people know about what you're doing, and anything that they should be watching out for?
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's shut her down then. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Brian. Hold on. That's not how it ends, right? It's supposed to be like, thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to the podcast, hopefully you've gotten all the way here. We are hosted on anchor.fm. You can find it on Instagram. You can find it on Spotify, Google Play Music, and iTunes. And if you guys are actually still watching and listening right now, leave a message down below. If you're watching on anchor.fm or listening on anchor.fm, leave us a note or a message, or any questions that you have about the podcast or anything that we've talked about today. On YouTube, hopefully you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that comment, and let us know what you liked about the stream, or if you have any questions there as well. You can find us on Twitter, and also, I think Twitter is the only place where we have a social media. You can find us at Ymbangium on Twitter. And I think that's going to be the end of the show. Guys, I hope you guys have a great night, a great day wherever you are in the world. Again, my name is Brian.
I'm Darian.
And this has been another episode of
the Ymbangium podcast.
There's a delay, isn't there?
I mean, was it for you? You're the one recording.
Yeah, because I tried to say it at the same time as you, and you kept getting slower and slower. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.